So, Caitlin Clark is officially ruled out. Ruled out. This is beyond Corey Lame adding fuel to the fire. Why couldn't just write throat instead of fist to throat? At the end of the day, no one knows why Caitlin Clark's missing this game. Probably is a back injury. She was also, she was massage gunning her groin. I think Caitlin Clark's just feeling a little bit iffy. And look, if she's not 1,000%, you sit her out of this game. It's as simple as that. If she's not 100,000%, you sit her out. If there is any even minor, the slightest of slight issues with Caitlin Clark, you sit her out of this game. I'm going to be very clear that, no matter what, you sit her out of this game unless she is 1,000% healthy and feeling nothing. Why do you sit her out of this game? If she is not 1,000%, you have an 8-day off. So if you guys don't know, the Fever have these weird, long streaks of games where, and this is the problem, is that obviously something always happens in the news cycle, just like the Portland thing and all the Trey Caitlin bullshit, or as the geniuses of the Athletic said, start Raven Johnson. Yeah, that is, in my opinion, it's still one of the funniest podcasts. The Start Raven Johnson podcast was one of the funniest podcasts ever. I cannot stress it enough. The Start Raven Johnson podcast was hilarious. That being said, the Fever, if you look here, they have this week break. So Caitlin Clark will, obviously comes out of this game here. She's playing again on Sunday, July the 5th, from Wednesday. She has a 10-day off. She is off for 10 days here. And then you go into, you look at your games, you then go on to a West Coast road trip where you have to, first of all, acclimatize yourself to the hours. And then you're playing the Aces, then a back-to-back at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Then you play the Aces again. So, you got 4 games in 7 days. So it's you've got your 10-day rest. This is probably one of these minor injuries that a 10-day break, you're fine. I would say she's nearly certainly going to be fine for this Aces game. I highly doubt it's going to be anything else. I think she is almost certainly going to be back for this game, but I'm kind of glad she's missing this game. I am kind of glad because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where, look, the whole thing is that Caitlin's got to be as healthy as possible. That being said, it's one of those things where they're going to beat the Sparks anyway. If they lose to the Sparks, even without Caitlin Clark, they're unserious. The Sparks don't have Kelsey Plum. The Sparks suck. The Sparks suck. They really suck. They gave up 53 points to Marina Mabry. I cannot stress that enough. They let Marina Mabry score 53 points. She was playing just fine after that play. She went off. She subbed herself out of the game and went to the locker room. What are we talking about? Yeah, because 2 plays later, she got fucking cleaned out of it in the air. And then once the adrenaline wore off, as she was ready to play, she was like, oh, fuck, and went off. She was fucked coming out of halftime. That's just objectively not true. I don't know if this play had such a nasty post. I mean this when I say this. If you jump on somebody, knee them in the groin, put a fist to the throat, and stamp on them, you don't deserve the public benefit of the doubt. Getting trolled is the least likely thing. Alyssa Thomas isn't seeing any of this shit on social media. She's not seeing this shit on social media, and let's be very real. It's, if anything's being sent to her, it's fucking Dewana. It is Dewana Bonner. It is Dewana Bonner seeing it and sending it to her. But I gotta be real, fist to throat, so dramatic. It was. Like, it ain't, like, she has missed a game after being cheap shotted twice. She got cheap shot twice in the game and now she's out. And I do think that there is also a part of it with the Fever that are like, she is now out of this game. She is out of the game. And now we can literally just go and say it to the league, being like, look, if you don't do something, your star is gone from this game because of you guys. You guys are letting her get beat up. You guys are letting the refs let her get beat up. And look, now this is the key game. This is her versus the LA Sparks. Huge market on CBS. Caitlin's out of this game. Caitlin's out because of you guys. Like, I think that that's part of the reason? No, but I think it's a happy accident. I think it's something that the Fever are probably like, you know what? Yeah. I do think at the end of the day, like Caitlin Clark getting hurt is not something that anyone wants to see. I think she's going to be fine. I think she's going to be absolutely fine. I would be shocked if Caitlin Clark is not ready to play that Vegas Aces game. I would be shocked. And if Caitlin is not ready to play that Vegas Aces game, then we're like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. And in fairness, she did get up 2 minutes after the Alyssa Thomas situation, holding her back. And I'm going to be honest. She was a lot more likely to have tweaked something in her back from what Alyssa Thomas did to her than she was to have tweaked something in her back from the landing zone foul that wasn't even called. But yeah, look, it is one of those things now where if you are the league, you now have to take this seriously, because there is, even if this has nothing to do with it, there is now Caitlin Clark just got cheap shotted. Caitlin Clark is out. That is a sequence of two things that has happened. So now it's like, oh shit, unless we actually want Caitlin gone, we have to do something about this. We have to change the way she's ref. We have to start calling those landing space fouls. We can't just like let her get the shit kicked out of her every single game. And I think this is a happy accident for the Fever. I think the Fever probably like, look, you know what, to sit this game out anyway. This is not an important one. We're fine. And you then also have to take into account that, look, it's a long freaking game. It's a long season, and they have a 10-day break. I think if this was just a normal game, she might have played, but with a 10-day break, you can probably make sure she's as close to 100% as possible for that West Coast stand. And you assume you're going to beat the LA Sparks at home. Let's be very real. But anyway, see you guys.